February the 17th, 1951. Got that 51 in. Mrs Campbell's here tonight. Helen and Jimmie, Johnny Anderson and Peggy. What I want to say now. We're gonna see if we can't get them all to record their voice. Johnny, how about you? What was that question you asked me?
I asked you how to, you better erase that. That's what I wanted to know. How to erase something said on that recorder.
You click down the little red button.
Okay, now I know.
Go ahead and say something else. You want to record your voice.
What do you want said? That could cover a lot of things. Oh yeah, your machine, I think it's very fascinating. Especially what's been said on it so far. I don't think so. Might as well talk in this as anything else.
No hot air.
That's right. Come on, Peggy, say something.
I don't have much to say. It's too late.
What do you mean?
It's me like it's about 10 minutes after 1 on Sunday morning. Nobody will recognize me anyway with this cold.
How did you get it?
I wish I knew.
Mrs. Campbell?
Well, I heard Carl say a while ago this was February the 17th, and I'm going to contradict him. I think it's the 18th. It's already Sunday morning. I think he still thinks it's Saturday. Well, he hasn't been to bed, but it's after 12 o'clock. I should say about 1, maybe, on Sunday morning. And we've had a nice evening here at Carl. I watched the rest of them eat donuts. Of course, that's the pleasure I have to set aside. But I enjoyed the coffee. And we've had a lovely weekend this week with all the kids home. Sorry, Hurley and Sis couldn't come down with Helen and Jimmie. We had a pleasant surprise when John walked in and said, I have to set aside. But I enjoyed the coffee. And we've had a lovely weekend this week with all the kids home. Sorry, Hurley and Sis couldn't come down with Helen and Jimmie. We had a pleasant surprise when John walked in at 7:30 this morning. Of course, the pleasure was all his. He was overjoyed to get home. Jenny's growed so much. They've had such a good time this evening, she and Johnny. Yeah, John came home this morning. He has to leave tomorrow, of course. It's about 3 o'clock. But I guess it's worth it. I suppose something like 400 miles. He had this nice ride clear to Grafton. Got out of the car there at Grafton and was picked up by another fella, someone who he used to work with. Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Well, I didn't know what I was going to say, but we made a rush trip home this weekend. We came in about 10 o'clock Friday night. We really came in to see Carl before he goes away, and we thought this would be the best weekend to make the trip. Came down from Philly. We left there about 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. We had a little bad weather to drive in, but it wasn't too bad. We had a nice trip, and we'll be leaving tomorrow around noon. We've had a real nice weekend, and hope we can hurry back for another one. Now, Jim, it's your turn.
Well, I guess we have everybody on this tape machine now with Peggy, and course, Peggy, she's getting along fine, happy, and roly-poly style, I guess we'll put it that way. And, of course, she's all smiles over that. And, of course, Helen and I and Carl and Ann having little girls, I guess we hope that she'll have one, too. Now, Johnny, I guess, will have a lot to say about that, which is natural. But everybody seems to enjoy themselves when we all get together. And after hearing everything that's been said on this tape machine so far, why, it really hits the heart, I think. And I only hope that tonight and so forth.
Here, Miss Campbell.
Well, I'm doing a lot of talking this evening. All of it, I suppose. I'm always doing that. Well, it's grand being together like this. I don't know why we couldn't have had a recording machine like this years ago. Just think when our kids were little, if we could have had this and play a recording of this kind back now, why, we could all have a good evening's entertainment. Just think what Richie and Willie are going to enjoy some of these days. A lot of us won't be around to hear it, but they will. And Shirley, Jennifer, and all of those. They'll have a good time and think about all of those old folks. Didn't they think they were having fun? I wonder what they'll have like this. Well, well, what I want to say, I don't suppose I can put it in words like I'd like to, but I hope we can have another nice evening before Carl goes away. I had thought I'd ask him, would you rather have a chocolate cake or a box of candy or a pie? I hope he doesn't make it too strenuous, because I was going to provide it and ask them in, and if they can't come in, I think maybe I can cook Ed away from home that evening, and we'll all come out here. If they'll permit us, maybe we'll get Ed to make a speech, who knows? Well, Nan says we're always invited, so looks like I'll be baking a cake, or, well, I'll whip up something anyway. And we'll whip up a cake, well, cake it'll be. We'll have to eat it while it's warm, because when it gets cold, they're heavy. So I think since it's 1:30 on Sunday morning and I have to go to Sunday school, we better sign off and get going. So good night, everybody.
After all these instructions, I should do pretty well, but I still don't know what I'm supposed to say. I can't imagine why Jim and Helen insist on calling me roly-poly. I can't understand it. Possibly, yes. I don't know whether Johnny has any particular what did I say? I don't know if he has any choice on whether he'd rather have a little girl or a little boy around, but as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make any difference. Let me ask Johnny. Johnny?
It doesn't really matter, just as long as one of them's around. Maybe both, I don't care.
I guess that was a good enough answer. It doesn't really matter, though. I think you all... I think y'all have gone through the same thing, and it didn't matter to you either, so I think you know what we mean. Let me ask Grandmother if she has any choice.
Well, certainly I'm not going to make a choice. I'll be thrilled about whatever it is, so everything's all right.
Well, I think that's the way everyone feels about it. I think that's all I have to say. Anyone else want to talk?
I guess everybody's run out of wind tonight, so we'll sign off. It is getting late. It's 23 minutes after 1.